First, we will listen to an interview with Wanxu Dong, Managing Director of BTE, done by our Chinese expert Lu Zhang, about the new container train on the way to the Port of Rotterdam.
就是我们这趟路线呢，这趟新开的路线是通过西安出发，经过哈萨克斯坦、俄罗斯到达俄罗斯的加里宁格勒，通过加里宁格勒，在我们通过上船，然后再到德国的穆克兰港。到了穆克兰港以后，然后再换装到铁路上，最终到达荷兰的鹿特丹。
这条线路目前的这个运营的时效是怎么样的呢？就是跟其他的线路相比较的话，为什么当初会选择就是通过加里宁格勒来做一段这个短驳的船？
对，我们选择这条路线的原因是基于时效的考虑。我们去年在做过一趟穆克兰的测试的情况下，是全程到德国的穆克兰港，我们是全程用了11天。今年全年从今年年初到现在的运行时效也基本上平均到最终的目的地基本上平均在13天到14天。我相信到鹿特丹港也会在16天左右。
能给我们介绍一下这个转运的一个过程吗？就是说，客户他在选择从西安到鹿特丹这条线路的时候，可能心里也会有一些犹豫，说我这个火车到了加里宁格勒之后，是不是需要去等下一班的这个船？然后到了穆克兰之后，中间的这个转运大概需要多长的一个时间才能再对接上火车呢？
好的。这个也很简单，就是我们从西安到达加里宁格勒，这是纯铁路的运输。当然了，中途会有在阿拉山口的换装。到了加里宁格勒以后换装，我们的船是等待着我们的火车抵达。我们所使用的这个海运的服务是等待的火车的到达以后，立刻就换装到船上，然后通过船再到达穆克兰港就卸船，然后再进行下一步的铁路的转运。所以说基本上可以说是无缝的链接，在转运上大家不用担心，而且就是我们用的这个船运的服务，在加里宁格勒到穆克兰港的船运的服务也并不是一个公共服务，可以说是为我们的班列专门做的定制的服务。
鹿特丹港的话呢，就是对市面上的客户来讲，它其实主要还是一个就是分拨集散的一个中心。选择鹿特丹港有一些什么其他的考量吗？就是大致从货源的类型上面来讲，您这边现在能方便告诉我们说这一条线路上面都是为哪些类型的产品设计的呢？
我们现在开通这趟路线呢，是基于我们现有的一个客户，他是纺织品类的客户，是有到鹿特丹的需求。同时如大家所知，鹿特丹港也有非常优秀的分拨网络，可以分拨到欧洲的南部国家，比方说法国和意大利。我相信随着我们这趟新产品的开行呢，会有越来越多的客户会选择到鹿特丹的路线，或者通过鹿特丹再分拨到其他国家。为什么就是说我们要开鹿特丹这个路线，也是因为我们的基于客人的需求，这客人的原先是通过海运的方式到达鹿特丹港，他们通过铁路的方式呢，还是希望还是可以继续抵达鹿特丹港，能保持他们的贸易条款不变。因为铁路的运量少，相对于它的整个的运量来说，可能铁路只占有它的几十分之一，甚至1%、1/1000来说，对于他来说，他不会因为这一点点铁路运输改变他的贸易条款。
但是鹿特丹现在跟这个远东地区也有非常成熟的这个海运的线路，在考虑这个铁路运输的时候，有考虑到海运对铁路运输这个货运量的一些冲击吗？
有考虑到，但是我们还是要考虑到发挥铁路的最大的优势，能保持它的运输时效的竞争力。我相信一定会有一部分客户选择铁路运输。其实同样的道理， 虽然我们有从中国到汉堡的海运服务，但是同样还有一大部分中式的客户继续选择从中国的内陆地区也好，沿海地区也好，通过铁路运输到德国的汉堡。
In the studio with us is Gilbert Bal, Business Logistics Manager of the Port of Rotterdam. Welcome.
Thank you.
Very interesting. A train is on the way to the Port of Rotterdam.
Yeah.
What do you think of this news?
Yeah, that is great news. We, of course, welcome any kind of a train coming into the Port of Rotterdam, but this is something, spectacular. Yeah.
Yeah. And why is it spectacular?
Well, it has been since 2015 when the last direct train was coming from China. Back then it was from coming, as I understood. And yes, and basically after then it has always been via hubs coming into Rotterdam, so like Cologne, Duisburg and Tilburg. So, but having a new direct connection from China, yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah.
And why was it that other direct train didn't continue? Do you know that?
I do not know that. I do not have that information, unfortunately, why that happened.
Yeah. And what does it mean for you as a port to have a direct train?
Yeah, it is, of course, first of all, it is great to have a direct train, and it also means that Rotterdam will be the hub for continuing the cargo loads on that train. So, being a hub, the clients can use our dense short sea network, as well as our fast hinterland connections.
Yeah, and can you name some of those connections?
Well, we of course, as I understood, that the train will arrive on the RSC. So, for example, Samskip will be a nice client to further continue to England, for example. And as of RSC terminal in Rotterdam, you can also use a lot of rail connections to Italy, for example, with Hupac into Italy, and many more. We have a lot of great rail operators active in the Port of Rotterdam.
Yeah. Yeah, and considering that, it's actually almost strange that it didn't happen before, that you were not a hub on the new Silk Road. Can you explain that?
Well, maybe that was the conclusion when they tried it in 2015 and it didn't succeed. And after that, there has been, as I mentioned already, a lot of hub indirectly with connecting with Rotterdam. And now it is coming back active again. Apparently, clients are willing to pay for it. Mm-hmm. And apparently, as Mr. Dong nicely expressed, he is also willing to take the chance, so the risk basically to do it. So I think we will see hopefully more of this in the future for sure. Yeah.
And we're talking now about the hub function, but in fact this train is an end destination. I mean, Rotterdam is an end destination. Are you surprised by this?
Well, I'm honestly, when we were talking with rail operators, where we also asked the question, what is needed to set up an own direct train connection between Rotterdam and China, we always sort of get the feedback that a short sea connection and cargo on it is necessary. So having a full train for Rotterdam area is really, for me, it is really nice to hear. And I think it is, in addition for Mr. Dong and other clients who are interested, we have got a very fast, in Port of Rotterdam, very fast industrial area. But we also have got some agro sourcing areas as well in the neighborhood. And especially with the ban being taken off in Russia, that could also potentially lead into more cargo and export back to Russia. So, hopefully more to come.
Yeah. And what kind of role do you play as a port authority to establish such links?
Well, in this setup we were not involved, but we are now in contact with Mr. Dong, and we will for sure have many more meetings after the first contact. Yeah.
And is it then your role to play to attract other players to the Port of Rotterdam, or is it more a facilitating role?
Well, it is both. We know the players that are active between China and the Netherlands, so we already are in contact with them. And of course, if there are other players interested to have a similar setup as Mr. Dong has right now with his company, they are free to contact us. That is no problem. Yeah, we are a neutral port and we are open for any kind of rail connection.
Yeah, and it could also happen that you're not aware of a service and it's just being started by players without your knowledge.
Exactly. I have we have 38 rail operators active in the Port of Rotterdam, and there are many more active in the rest of the Netherlands. And if I'm not informed, just like in this example, it could just pop up as simple as that. Yeah. So yes, of course, we try to be in contact with anybody as much as we can, but yeah, this will be hopefully the start for more investigation regarding the connections between Rotterdam and China.
Yeah, and it's also something you want to increase this effort.
Yeah, if there is a need from the clients, we should not be passive about it. So we always have to look into what is the advantage of Rotterdam in this kind of a direct service, and what is helping the client in the end. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because we have a lot of Silk Road conferences, and the question always pops up, what is Rotterdam doing? Yeah. And for some reason people are very interested in Rotterdam. Yeah. I can assume why, it's the largest port in Europe. Yeah. And I can also see how people are wondering why the Port of Hamburg, for example, is playing such an assertive role and really showing that they have all these connections, and why it's so different in the Port of Rotterdam. Is that something you can explain?
Well, we do have on our website, we have got articles promoting this kind of services. We are in very good contact with GVT in Tilburg, where we have got the Chengdu-Tilburg Rotterdam connection, and we really see that there's a connection to China. We also see, of course, the connection via Duisburg, where we have got very nice connections into the Port of Rotterdam, and as the same as via Cologne. And as already mentioned, we are in contact with several rail operators and asking them very simply the question, what is needed to set it up? And we remain in contact on that basis. Sometimes it is in the end not possible because clients do not see the possibility, but with the new service now from Mr. Dong being established, this will hopefully open up a door to many more other possibilities.
Yeah, okay. And there were also other services established to Amsterdam same week. Yeah. Maybe a coincidence, maybe not. Yeah. What does that mean for you? Is that an extra reason to make an effort, or is that unrelated?
It is unrelated, to my opinion. As already mentioned, we have got very nice connections already via Duisburg to the Port of Rotterdam for many, many years. So all the train connections from China into Duisburg, for example, have been and has been already been going forward to Rotterdam. I must compliment the colleagues in Amsterdam for having these two new connections. But I would say it is an addition to each other.
Yeah. All right. Let's imagine there are tons of people now who want to contact you because they want to establish a real link to the Port of Rotterdam. Yeah. How can they go about that?
Oh, well, they can easily contact me.
Yeah. Yeah. You can find it on the website.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for sharing your enthusiasm about this.
Thank you very much.
Let's hear more about it later.